What's going on, everybody? Welcome to GmiasWorld, and what we're going to be talking about again is the dual chemistry masters. Now, a lot of things that we've expected, we've not actually received from EA Sports, and I don't know if it's because there's like a change in the program format and they're giving us other, different types of ways to create these promos. Like a lot of us were waiting for like a scary fast with the most feared. We never got that. I just want to make sure you guys understand there's a method behind the madness, especially when it comes to these type of things with the rising stars. So as I complete this Day Westbrook, and I'm going ahead right now and doing this tokens, and I'm going to also do the other position, which I believe is a middle linebacker, and we're going to actually get rid of Brian Urlacher, who just sucks at the game. He sucks. The Hall of Fame players have really been a disappointment. The funny thing about it is it's only a few of them that might be still relevant. Maybe the running back and maybe Rod Woodson as the corner. Terrell Owens probably if they give him a huge boost, but in my opinion, the delay with it has kind of made it like you don't even want to really deal with it anymore, because I think a lot of the other players have gotten suitable upgrades as far as the Hall of Fame players. They haven't even looked at them. You know what I'm saying? So that might be an issue. So as I'm going through this right now, I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing with it after I actually upgrade them and what I'm doing as far as chemistry goes. Now, you guys don't have to max them out, okay? When you actually put them together, you don't have to max them out. Like Anthony Walker, he's going to go in as my second string middle linebacker. We're going to have him dual chem with pass rush and lockdown, so he might be a goonie, but that's not what this is about. This thing is about Brian Urlacher at the middle linebacker position, because he sucks. And I'm not gonna lie to you about it, bro. Like, even if you have him maxed out, the dude's still garbage. So it doesn't really matter. You got to get yourself a decent middle linebacker, man. And most of you guys are, mutt masters anyway. So the middle linebacker position shouldn't even be an issue for you anyway. But if it is, it's only a few middle linebackers out there. Some of you guys are using the Ray Lewis, whatever he is, the team captain, as your middle linebacker. In my opinion, I don't think that he's suitable enough to be that guy for the entire year. But if you guys like him, it is what it is. Ultimately, Ryan Shazier is the goon. All right, so that's where you should be. If you're not there, you know what I'm saying, bro? Listen, it's on you. Nothing I can do about it. All right, so pretty much with these 5 tokens that we've made through the players, we're going to go right now to their actual items, and then we're going to upgrade them and then put them into the lineup. And I'm going to start to explain to you a little bit further what we're looking to do with the team. Pretty much with the chemistries, as far as how everything is built up and what it does, you're going to want to go ahead and pick the chemistries that are suitable for you. Not based on what I'm doing, but suitable for you. A lot of you guys use the West Coast. Some of you guys like balanced offense. I don't really care what you choose to use, as long as it makes sense with what you're doing. Okay? Like, as long as it makes sense to you, that's all that really matters. I just don't want you guys to start investing into certain things just because you see other people do it and it doesn't really, it doesn't really benefit you. And that's a lot of mistakes that, people make. They go and they're like, yeah, bro, I'm doing this because this guy did it. I explain to you why I do stuff in most of my videos, I continually explain it because I understand that there's some newer people joining the channel, and I just don't want to make it feel like you guys are left out. Some of you guys have more knowledge than others. That's all fine as well. But overall, we still have to be able to communicate and understand exactly what's going on. So I choose lockdown and pass rush. You might use run stuff. You might use something else, bro. Listen, whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. The balanced defense just doesn't do enough for me. Run stuff, if you like that, like I said, it's what you guys want to do. In this case right now, we're just going to give him lockdown ×2, okay? And we're going to give him lockdown ×2, and we're going to give him pass rush ×2. So he could just be a dual, just a dual threat dude that goes into the lineup and just does whatever he wants, because those are the 2 chems that I'm ultimately using. Now, if EA does decide for whatever reason to give us a dual chem master, those of you that have done these rising stars will have more than likely what they'll do is they'll probably re-release all of the rising stars so that everybody would have to, buy it again, and it's going to be really, really skyrocketed in prices because, the player ultimately, the master is going to have to be at least a 95, 96 if they release it anytime soon. So with that being said, for the most part, a lot of you guys that, got a decent amount, because I haven't done all of them, but I've done a decent amount to where I should be able to balance my team if they do actually go through it, making the actual dual chem master. All right, so that's something that you guys should really pay attention to. In this case right here, I have Go Deep. I'm going to give him Go Deep ×2. We'll just craft that, and then we're going to give him, what do we have? We have Go Deep, and what else do we use? We use Zone Run? No, we use Power Run. All right, so we'll give him Power Run ×2 as well. And then we just know that we can always be able to come back and just, take it off, add something to it, whatever we're going to need. Because what happens is you're going to need to have certain chems to unlock the solos if they do go through with it and make that part of a promo. The more that I look at it, it's something that they could just throw at us at any time. But because they're making the Rising Star so predominant every week, it's like coming out every week consistently. They're doing what they have to do to get us involved with it. It's a method to EA's madness. They're not just doing it to make you guys get chemmed up and it's all good. That's not what they're doing. They're doing it because at some point you're going to need it. That's ultimately why it's happening. Just so you guys are aware of that. So now when we look at D.D. Westbrook, he's 6 foot. You can see some of his stats right there, right? We're going to be replacing Calvin Ridley with him, but it works out because, even though Calvin Ridley's, he's 6'1", you could look at the difference in the stats. I just had him there because of the speed aspect. But, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter at this point. This guy right now is going to be dual chem, so he actually goes to an 89. All right? And you can see that the Go Deep and the Power Run, we have an additional amount, and we don't even have it maxed out. So we can manipulate it however we need to do it going forward. If you want to see what those dual chems do to him, you simply go back to it now, and you can see all the active stuff. But he's a guy that we could probably, if players get tired for whatever reason, throw into the game, and he will make a catch that we need him to make. And that's ultimately what these Rising Stars are supposed to do. You should notice that the overalls are getting a lot different as we go forward. So it's something that you might want to consider. Now, with the Hall of Fame Brian Urlacher, you can see that he's a Nat, and I never finished him up. Some of you guys were asking, should I raid sell him? I'm not going to raid sell him because there's remember, he's always going to be a backup. I don't want, this dude sucks right now. If they make a sick version of him, though, we'll still have the card as a backup, a backup situation to be able to just go ahead and update him and add stuff. But I didn't think, based on the way that they released the Hall of Fame promo, that it was worth it to invest too much in Brian Urlacher. If you have like a Rod Woodson or whatever you wanted to do, things like that, Terrell Davis, Dan Marino, those players made a little bit more sense to me than this Brian Urlacher. So that's pretty much why he's Audi 5000. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and add Anthony Walker, and you can see the difference in the speed is just ridiculous. Now remember, these guys don't get physical chems. All right, so it is what it is. Whatever you get, that's it. That's what you're getting from him. All right, he's an 89 overall. You can see right now that lockdown has increased and pass rush has increased. All right, so now we have an abundance of those. So we're in a position where we can manipulate. Again, we don't have to use all the uniforms that I have. We don't have to do a lot of the things that add chemistry to the players anymore because we have those additional things. So his zone coverage is pretty decent at an 82. We don't really run man a lot. You see he has an 86 block shed. Not a guy that we're going to be running around using, but it's good to know. The other thing you should check, though, his agility is under the 80, so he won't be able to initiate the ball hawk. Okay, your agility has to be at least the 80, and your jump has to be at least a 75. So we know now that he won't initiate what we're going to need him to do. Let's see what his jumping is. 74. So this guy's one off from that, and he's a couple off from the agility. So obviously we're not going to be using these players to go out there and just start balling out. You know what I'm saying? That's not what we're trying to do. So we have to get focused and understand that pretty much where we're going with it, we're going to need to just utilize him. I think at this point with his speed, when we put him in on like goal line packages, when we run out of these other players, because we don't really use Zach Cunningham, Tremaine Edmonds. These guys have the ability to ball hawk. That's why they're there as my subs, but we don't really use them. I think that this guy being in like goal line situations, even on special teams, will help the team to get a little bit better. All right, so that's pretty much where I am with it as far as that goes. So let's just talk about the fact that if they do decide to initiate that situation where they say, look, it's going to be a dual chem master, right? Once that happens, because you guys, we have a decent amount of rising stars, let me show you what's going on. Because we have a decent amount of rising stars, for those of us that have done them, we're going to be able to immediately just jump into the solos and bang them out. All you're going to have to do is change up the chems. That's it. You're just going to have to change the chems up and you're done. So with that type, why do I have mutt monsters? Who are my mutt monsters? These dudes are, bro, what? This dude right here is garbage. I can't do that with him. I just wanted to check what they were talking about. All right, so rising stars. All right, so now look, pretty much what's happening is this. You can see that the rising stars that I have, most of them are in. Why is this guy there? I never even completed this guy. Why is this guy there? Hold on. How much is he going for? Because I didn't do Malik Hooker. 12. Okay, there's not even enough of him to probably complete it. He has. I have that one, and then you need 10 more. And I don't think I did 2 of them. So let me just go back there and check that again. Because I don't know why. I should probably just sell that then. Because I don't think I need the free safety version of him. Everybody else is fully chemmed up. I might have pulled him in a pack or something and I forgot to sell him. So we'll just go ahead and auction him for like 11K. It's not a big deal. Maybe somebody else gets him, gets their rising star chemmed up or something and they go from there. But I think right now with the amount that I have is why I'm showing it to you, that we should have enough to be able to, no matter what chems we need, with the additional players that we already have, be able to maximize and complete the solos and unlock everything for the the dual chem master. All right, because that's ultimately what I think they're going to be doing next. Because the community has been complaining about why aren't we able to put dual chems on a lot of our 93 and above players yet? And I think that that's something that EA has planned going forward. So if you already have a decent amount of these rising star players, you don't really need to do anything right now. But if it's something that EA decides to do, you're going to probably end up doing those sets later anyway and having to go and rush and get it done to be able to complete the solos or whatever else you're going to need to do, because usually it's all solo driven and it's for pretty much grinders. So when we go through it, we get that card and then, you go from there. So that's pretty much why I wanted to explain to you again why I'm doing it, so you get more of an understanding of it. Even if you don't get one of those things, if we don't get a dual chem master, your team is still going to be suitable enough where you can start taking away the usage of uniforms for chems and, maximize on other players like Cam Newton. You see what I'm saying? Like Cam Newton, I could take away a uniform that I have and start maximizing his like mid-throw, his deep throw, and all that kind of stuff like that if I wanted to, because I don't have to use these uniforms anymore for chems. I could take them off. So that's what I want you guys to understand. These rising stars are very, very good to be used for those situations, to not have to use your uniforms and stuff like that to actually upgrade your chems. If you have any further questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section. The community is very, very good with answering as it goes along. You guys can follow me on Twitter, Instagram at GmiasWorld. Also like me on Facebook at GmiasWorld. See you guys and girls next time. One love.